Hi ladies, it's Victoria. Thanks so much for coming back to my channel. Today I just kind of wanted to do a cycle recap about my first IVF cycle, and I also just wanted to kind of talk about how we're doing emotionally, how we're gearing up for round two, and things like that. So let's just jump right in. What I've done is I kind of made a list. This is my work phone. I made a list on my work phone of my cycle recap so I can just kind of talk to you guys about what happened. A lot of people have asked me to do just like one video on the whole cycle so that it's easier to watch, so I thought I'd do that. January 5th this year obviously was cycle day 1. January 6th I went in for my baseline appointment. My lining was a 5.2. On my left side I had 13 follicles, and on my right I had 8 follicles. And if you guys watch that video, you know that that was incredible. Usually my left side does nothing. I'm lucky to get 2 follicles on that side. So that was a huge deal. So my medications that I started, taking 2 doxycycline, the antibiotic, every day, and 4 Brevell subcutaneously at night. So I started those injections that night. And I continued those until January 9th. January 9th, I went back. My lining was a 7.8. On my left side, I had 15 follicles. On my right, I had 5. And they switched my meds to 3 Brevell and 1 Menopur subcutaneously at night, and my 2 doxycycline. So everything was going well, and I was excited. Went back on the 12th. My lining was a 9.8. Now I had 19 follicles on my left and 11 on my right. So my meds stayed the same, but we also added the Ganirelix starting in the morning because I had a lead follicle of 14 on my left side at that point, so we didn't want to lose it. On the 14th, I went back. My lining was 12.5. My left side had 18 follicles and my right side had 12. My meds stayed the same. On the 16th, I went in. My lining was a 14.2. On my left side, I had 21 follicles, and on my right side, I had 11. My meds stayed the same just for that day, and then that night, I triggered with the 10,000 units of HCG, the Novarel shot, at 9 p.m. So then after that, Saturday, I didn't have any medications except the doxycycline, and then Sunday, I took the doxycycline. So then the 19th, that Sunday, I had my retrieval, and we got 19 eggs from that. My clinic is not one that tells you how many mature you have right away, so I didn't know that on Sunday. I just knew that we had 19, which was really exciting. That was a really good number. And you guys know, if you watched my video, my retrieval was kind of painful. They had to manipulate my stomach. I had 3 people really pressing to keep my ovary where it needed to be. So I had a lot of internal bruising from that. So I was in a lot of pain, but it was totally worth it. So then I have an embryo recap. So on the 19th, my retrieval was the 18th. On the 19th, of the 19 eggs, 8 fertilized normally, 2 fertilized abnormally, 6 did not fertilize, and 3 were old, were classified as old, so they didn't use them. On the 21st, now because we did the EVA study, let me backtrack a little bit. I talked about this in one of my videos too. The EVA study is one where they're trying to find a correlation between the way the embryos divide and and if they're chromosomally normal with doing PGD. So they keep them in their controlled environment. They don't take them out like they do normal embryos to check them daily. They only look at them under the EVA scope, which is right in the incubator every other day. And there's a video camera in there. So the benefit with that is we then get a video. So I'm super excited for that. I'm not sure when we get it. I'm going to ask about that at my first, my baseline this next time around. So on the 21st, I got my next call. We went up 1 to 9 embryos. 1 more that they didn't think was going to fertilize did. And they were on target for day 3, but all showed signs of fragmentation ranging between 15 and 40%. And you know, at that point, I was devastated because I knew what that meant, that so many of them were on that high side of fragmentation already. So, I kind of got my expectations in check. And to be honest, I really had no expectations to hear anything last Friday as far as, woo! And I dropped my phone. Sorry about that. I really had no expectations of having any embryos, to be honest with you. So when they called me on the 23rd and said that one embryo made it to day 5 blastocyst, and it was a B+ or A quality, depending on which embryologist you asked, I was overjoyed. I didn't think we were going to get anything. So to know that I had one little fighter, I was so excited. The rest hadn't changed much though, and I was devastated about that. We had 8 that didn't make it. So we chose to biopsy and freeze our one little baby, and I'm so excited that we have one. It only takes one, and I know that. So they did call me then on the 24th, which was day 6 for the rest of the embryos. They gave them another day just to see, and they didn't change. So sadly, we only got one. So that's kind of like my timeline of how my last cycle went. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's happening. We're just waiting for my next cycle to start, and we are going to move forward with a second stim cycle, which should be happening in the next few days. I'm kind of thinking based on my symptoms that I may be starting injections this weekend. So I will definitely let you guys know though what's happening, of course. Now, emotionally, things have been kind of difficult. It's really been a roller coaster. I mean, what part of this journey isn't a roller coaster though? But this has been like every day is just a constant up and down. Things went so well during my stimming and my appointments that, we really got our expectations up. Which is something we definitely should have known better. Nothing has been that easy for us. We like to take the hard way, I guess. So we should have not been so convinced, I guess. We should have been a little bit more guarded about our emotions. And that's just me saying that right now. I mean, I know that we need to enjoy it and relax, but it's hard to have hope. And I think most of you can relate to that. It's hard to let yourself hope. And I think that's my biggest issue right now is because I let myself hope last cycle, I've been really, really sad. I've had a lot of days where I'm just completely down in the dumps and I can't shake it. It's been hard. It's been really hard. Just kind of getting through the day and finding energy. I'm just lacking in energy and motivation. It's been really hard. So, and I know I keep saying that, but that's where we are. We're excited to be doing a second stim cycle. We're hopeful that we're going to get answers this time. I'm really trying not to have expectations for how it will turn out. My only hope is that we have answers this time. One way or the other, I just need to know, what it is that we need to be doing. Are we doing the right thing by doing IVF? Is this even going to be something that's going to work for us? I just need to know whether I have this degenerative egg issue or not so that we can kind of move forward with figuring out a plan. But regardless, I still ended up with one embryo, and I just keep focusing on the fact that we have one, and that's amazing. I'm so excited, but then you're also terrified. Sorry, I keep yawning. Because we only have one, then it's this huge thing of, thinking about using that embryo and losing that baby. And so right now I'm just glad that my little one is staying nice and cold for a little while and just waiting for us to be ready. Hopefully we'll have some brothers or sisters to join that embryo soon, and hopefully we can transfer too. But again, we'll see. So that's kind of an update on, you know, how we're feeling and what's going on, and then a recap of this last IVF cycle. But if you guys have any specific questions about it, you can check out the videos that I did all through that process, or please feel free to ask them down below. I'm happy to answer those for you. And that's it for tonight, guys, but I'll be updating you as soon as my cycle starts and I know what we're doing. So I'll talk to you next time. Bye.